Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Nate with Budget Auto. Thank you for tuning in to this week's video and to my channel. If you guys don't know who I am, go ahead and check out some of my old videos and be sure to subscribe to my channel for some more great content. But pretty much I'm just a guy that loves cars and trucks. I'm constantly learning about them. They're not necessarily a passion that I want to pursue as a career, but they are a passion and a big hobby of mine. So do stay tuned to my videos. They've been improving as we go along, and today's actually the first time that I'm shooting a video using a GoPro Hero 4. I'm super excited to have picked these up. Hopefully my videos are going to be in 4K from now on. I don't have my audio equipment currently hooked up, so I hope you guys can hear me all right. So today we're going to be working on the Audi. Yes, I know if you guys have been watching my other videos, you know that I'm always working on the Audi. Every year I try to do a project or a project vehicle, a project car. This year I'm doing an Audi A8, a 1999 Audi A8 Quattro. What an amazing car, and what a pain in the butt this car has been to work on and to fix. If you guys have stayed tuned to my other videos, you know that I recently did head gaskets on the car. We did a timing belt job, and we've had to go back through and replace all of the vacuum lines and most of the sensors as well. We got everything back together, got the car pushed out of the garage, and it wouldn't start. I don't know if it's the starter, if I broke something on that. I don't know if we broke an electric line. I don't know if the immobilizer's been activated since the battery was unplugged for over a month. I just don't know what's going on. My buddy, who's a little bit more mechanically savvy than me, doesn't know what's going on. But today we're going to get it back in the garage, put it up on jack stands, and we're going to test the starter to try and determine what is wrong with the car and how we're going to go about fixing it. So everyone occasionally sees that I'm working in a garage on my channel. However, I don't actually have a garage, so this is where we keep all of our tools, and I'm just kind of looking for the right tool. Right now I don't have the GoPro in a gimbal because I'm not super familiar with how to use it. It is also pretty windy outside, so I probably won't be shooting a lot of GoPro footage outside today, but let's find that tool. And here we are. So I'm waiting for my buddy that owns the shop to get back to me. He said he might be a little bit too tired to do it tonight, but in the meantime I thought I'd show you guys this tool that we'll be using. So hopefully you can see it. Like I said, I don't really know where the GoPro's pointed at, and sorry if I'm a little shaky. I definitely don't have the gimbal right now because I can't figure out how to get it pointed straight down, but this is the tool that we'll be using. I'm sure some of you saw it briefly. There's pretty much two types of electrical clamps on one side, and then the other side has a button, and it's called a motor remote starter. Now this is kind of an older car tool for older engines and whatnot, but pretty much what you do is you connect this one side to the negative terminal on the starter, and you connect the other side to the positive terminal, or the little wire that's on top of your solenoid, and then you can push this button and it'll actually crank the car or turn the starter to start your engine, and it will start the engine obviously if it's in the on position. But what this does is tells you, hey, there's power at my starter, and if I bypass the entire ignition system, it starts. So all this is using is the starter solenoid and the starter itself, and that'll tell me that yes, I have power to the Audi, or yes, I have power to the starter, and something there is at fault, whether that's the starter solenoid, the starter itself. Now if it doesn't turn over at all and I have power to it, then that means yes, it's the solenoid and or the starter. But if I don't have power to the starter at all and it obviously won't turn on, then that tells me that the fault is somewhere in between my battery and my starter, because it should be hooked directly in from the battery to the starter. Whether that's with the immobilization system or whatever else, that's for us to find out, but that's pretty much what this tool does. Is it just bypasses the ignition system, goes straight from your hot wire on your starter solenoid into your starter, and that should help us narrow down significantly the problem. Now if the solenoid or the starter is bad, I'm going to replace the entire starter. If it's neither of those things, then obviously we're going to keep looking. Right here we've got a little surprise for you guys for the Audi. Actually not really a surprise, but that's our new coolant reservoir from this little spindle, from this little thing that I broke last time, so that's going to go in the Audi. look nice and shiny. Hopefully the car actually runs when we're done. Just gonna put all of this stuff in the truck so that I don't forget it after work tomorrow. So Dad and I are actually gonna go work on the Audi. It is a different day. I know my clothes haven't changed much. Since I didn't go last night, I actually never got them dirty and didn't need to change. So pretty much the first thing that we're gonna try when I get there is using the master key. I've been using the valet key or the valet key, or I don't know how you say that word. But anyways, if this key works on the car, I will be super, super happy. I'll also be super, super ticked off that I didn't do it 2 weeks ago. I am super excited to go down and try it. The only reason that this key would work is if the initial programming requires you to have the key, or I should say the master key, after a long repair, something like that. But so that's what we're gonna try first, and then we're gonna get under the car and actually try to test the starter and see if it could be a problem with that or with the electrical system. So we made it to the Audi. I've got the master key, and now we're gonna go ahead and try the car. I don't think it's gonna do anything, but we'll see. Nope, absolutely nothing, so it's not a key issue. That means that I'm not a fool, but we'll also have to push it from here to there to the shop. And like you see on the windshield just now, it is pretty rainy outside. It's thundering and lightning, so I'm gonna leave you guys in here and we'll talk when we get inside of the shop. So we've got the Audi back up on jack stands. I'm getting pretty fast at it. Seems like it's on jack stands every other time we drive it. And I've got the tool right here. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on the car and see what happens. So I'm under the A8. I'm gonna plug into the starter. If you guys can't see it, that's good. I can't see it either. That's because it's behind this engine mount right here. Here's the oil cooler, your alternator, and the starter is literally behind the engine mount. So I do think this is one way we can plug into it, and then we'll have to reach up behind in here, which I'm sure you can't see anything, to plug into it as well. That's how you access your starter. That's your starter location on an Audi A8. So I'm gonna have to work my hands up into there, but I'm not gonna take you guys with me. Maybe a better angle here. If you follow those wires all the way up, that's where you get to your starter. Again, oil cooler, alternator, oil pan. Okay, here's the remote starter. I've got one hooked up here to the back of the alternator because I think that wire goes straight up to the starter and runs off the bigger one, so that should be our positive side. And then back here, whoa. Then back here I've hooked it up to our negative side, which also runs right back to the starter right there. Now we're gonna hold the key in the start position. I'm gonna try to start it using this button. It did something for a second. I'm pushing the button. I thought I heard something a second ago, but maybe we need to turn the key on.
Yeah, that's just making it dead short.
Oh, because the wires are quite hot. Melt what?
The wires.
Should I unplug it? Well, I was doing that wrong. So instead of putting one side on the positive terminal and one side on the negative, you're actually supposed to put one side on the big positive terminal that has power. Then the other side goes on your little ignition switch that does not have power, and that way when you cross it or when you power up the little ignition switch, it's supposed to turn the starter over. We also tested it with my buddy's voltmeter, and there is 12 volts going through the ignition system when the key is on the start position or the on position. So that means that either my starter is not connected properly, or the starter solenoid or the starter itself is just bad. So unfortunately, guys, we're going to be working on the Audi a little bit longer. We're going to be taking the starter off somehow because I'll talk about it when I get home, but it's in between the block and engine mount, the manifold in the head, and the oil cooler on one side, and I just don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do some research and we're going to figure it out, and we're going to get it done. We're going to get it pulled, tested, and replaced if need be, and then hopefully we'll be driving this car. It is thundering and lightning like crazy and raining outside. I'm super dirty and ready to go home, and that's what we're going to do right now. And yeah. And we are in some sort of a torrential downpour. There's the F-150 looking good. Dad's inside, luckily, because It wasn't raining about 2 seconds ago. Now that I have to go get in the truck, it is raining quite hard, and so I'll catch you guys, oh my gosh, I'll catch you guys inside. Well guys, to be quite honest, that storm kind of come out from the middle of nowhere. Now I didn't really talk about it on the way home, but I got some crazy footage of some lightning, a little bit on the GoPro, but I'm going to pull most of it off my dash cam. So I'm definitely going to do a video that's going to come out a lot sooner than this video, probably just showing a crazy storm in the middle of Wyoming, what it's like to drive through. But guys, it was, I mean, it came out of nowhere, lightning everywhere. We were right in the middle of it, super loud and crazy. But yeah, it was quite interesting, quite exciting. I haven't been in a storm for a while. I lived in Mexico for a little while, and then I moved back up here, and then I've been living in Idaho ever since. So welcome back to Wyoming. What it is like to drive in Wyoming, guys. Absolutely every day changes with the weather. Obviously, it's been super cold this past week in the 30s. It's been in the 80s, and now it's in the 50s and pouring rain with an electrical storm. I'm going to shut the truck off now, and I'm probably going to go inside. Unfortunately, guys, we are going to have to take the starter off the Audi. Again, it's such an involved process. I'm going to probably talk you guys through it, but I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to have you guys be a part of it with me, unfortunately. I am not excited, if I'm honest, to have to do it. When I tightened up the positive terminal cable on the back, I thought I did hear a little plasticky pop, and apparently I broke something. So we're going to take it off, we're going to bench test it. If it works, well, we're going to figure out what's wrong. Maybe a connection's loose, and I don't think it's going to work. And when that happens, we'll order a new one, we'll put it in, and we will finally drive the Audi. So that's exciting. Super nice of my dad to come with me. I know he follows my channel. He's a subscriber. I don't know that he watches all my videos, but he's definitely amazing, an amazing mechanic. Thanks, Dad, for coming. I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate everyone that's subscribed to my channel. If you haven't, go ahead and do so. I've got some GoPros. I'm gonna stay in this for the long haul. Really, it's more so I can improve myself, learn how to make videos, grow a follower group on the internet, that kind of thing. But I want to help you guys, so let me know what you want to see in the comments below. Go ahead and hit the like button on this video if you've liked it. With all of this said, hopefully this vlog hasn't been too all over the place. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Wow, it is raining. I do not want to go inside.